Pivot, a wellness project. Day 23, January 23, 2021. The challenge is, what can you do in order to create an incredible story that will help change the entire world? The thought is that, oh, what can I do? Um, it's really hard for me to make any kind of changes, and how can I impact the world? It's this concept of touching systems in your life. Um, and it's something that I've been a student of for many years, until I really understood that touching systems is something as simple as recognizing that a butterfly fluttering its wings is capable of creating a tornado or a hurricane somewhere else on the planet. Um, in terms of the complexity issues that are involved, in terms of the adaptive systems that are involved in that, we don't really have to understand the pure science of it. We don't really need to understand even the complexities of the social science involved. But it is enough to recognize that for us, we do have a sense that there is a complexity that we are all a part of to contribute to this great big blue dot called being human, living Earth. Um, so, in terms of our ability to touch systems, but the fundamental system that you can control is primary. You. You can make changes in you. And in order to make changes in you, it's to recognize again that there are thoughts in your mind that need to undergo some degrees of change, feelings that you need to assess in order to see how you can make choices moving forward in terms of what to do in order to affect your body, to affect your relationships, to affect some of your judgments to try and make the world a better place, and then ultimately, in the judgments, making the world a better place, contributing to the great spiritual existence of being human. With that, it's hard for us to grasp that the minuscule person called the self in this international bubble that we're all in right now in terms of a pandemic shutdown. It's hard for us to imagine that we are capable of greatness within ourselves, and that ultimately greatness within ourselves in terms of our ability to both radically accept the things we can't change, but to also change the things that we can. And in that sense, in the Desiderata prayer, to know that you have the wisdom to know the difference. In making those changes within yourself, you are actually that butterfly that contributes to the greater world. Tough thing to grasp, but for every thing that you pour energy into that's full of anger, it just escalates that. For every concept where you find that you're full of more of this sense of love or sense of betterment of things, and pour energy into that, it tends to emanate as something that is influential within the world. We've created it in terms of mimicking it through our social media. So we all love funny like memes. We like funny videos. We like inspirational thoughts, inspirational messages, poems that are read at inaugurations in order to inspire us to make great change. Great speeches that are said by world leaders during times of change that help fight civil rights issues. These are the things that are the little memes within our life, social memes that add up to contribute to a greater change in our planet. And right now, it's so hard to see. COVID-19, this pandemic, has led to an increase in generalized anxiety, an increase in an undercurrent of depression, an increase in pressing the pause button and freezing in life, so that we don't know necessarily how to move forward where we actually can find flow in terms of our creativity, and we can bask and almost fawn within that. Um, but it's there. We're all nudging systems internally and one thing at a time in order to accumulate and aggregate a great story that's waiting for us once we cross that hurdle. So, what can we do moving forward? It's recognizing that history isn't made in a day. Um, In some arguments, it takes almost 7 generations. So 7 generations from now, 5,000 years into the future, um, for sure, we will be looking back and we will see the dark side of what was going on in our time. But in the bigger picture, I think that I have a firm belief that in a full storytelling mode, we will create heroic stories